Hey everybody, Nerdy Hatter here. Welcome to my Suicide Squad movie review. Now, a quick warning, this will be a spoiler review. Because I can't really talk about this movie without spoiling some things for you, because I'm so excited about it that I might let something slip, and I don't want something to slip and me not warn you that this might be a spoiler video. So, I'm just going to call it a spoiler video, and if you haven't seen the movie, you have 5 seconds to leave. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. That is your spoiler warning, and if you don't want to hear anything else, you guys should just leave the video now. I want you guys to watch the video, but I also don't want you to have this movie spoiled for you because it actually is a pretty good movie. Now, go see the movie, come back, I'll see you. Right, so Suicide Squad, one of my most anticipated movies of the year. Now, this movie has had a lot of backlash. This is not a very popular movie with critics, but it's a popular movie with fans, and some fans are divisive. It is a very 50-50 movie. Well, not if you look at Rotten Tomatoes. Apparently they can number at a 20%. That did not look like 20. I apologize. Now, I like this movie. In fact, I love this movie. But, I can see why people didn't like it. I can see why some people didn't like it. I know a lot of people who actually love this movie. I am one of those people. I loved this movie. And in this review, we're going to start out with the things I liked and end off with the things I disliked. So, let's get right to it. Alright, for the things I liked, it will be Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn at number 1, Jared Leto's Joker at number 2, Deadshot at number 3, the music of this film at number 4, and at number 5, at a very surprising number 5, Captain Boomerang. I really liked Captain Boomerang. I was very surprised by that. Now, getting into the things I've liked. I liked, not I've liked. Past tense. I'm not dead. Alright, first, Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn. I really liked Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn. That is why she's at number 1. She's at number 1 because she's very faithful to the character. Now, I know a lot of people are like, oh, you must like Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn because it's Margot Robbie and she's pretty and she's wearing booty shorts. That's why you like her. No, I am actually a fan of the Harley Quinn character, and I think she did justice to that character. One of the things that I will say, if you like the Batman the Animated Series Harley Quinn, you will like, most likely, this version of Harley Quinn. She has the voice. She acts like that. And in one scene, she wears the outfit from the animated series. She wears her original outfit in this movie. How insane is that? They actually showed Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn in the original Harley Quinn outfit, and I died. I could not believe what I was seeing. I was seeing the first version of Harley Quinn I had ever seen up on the big screen in live action. I could not believe my eyes, and it was incredible. Now, that is one thing that this movie does a lot that I love. Homages and cameos, not up the ass. They didn't have too many. They only had a couple, threw them in there, and they were awesome. I love them. Margot Robbie in the original Harley Quinn costume is number 1 up there. Now, what did I love about Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn? I have said it. That she was very faithful to the character, that she performed like the character, and she gave an amazing performance in character. She was great as Harley Quinn. Now, some people think that the New York accent voice, or Jersey accent, I'm not sure which one it really is a little bit too much. It's too cartoony. It's too out there. Please remember, this is a comic book movie. Comic book movies are cartoony. They're out there. Well, they should be. They are not things that exist in real life. Men do not actually fly in the sky. There's not really a man who dresses like a bat in real life and goes around fighting crimes, beating up criminals. I don't get how the voice is the biggest concern with people in Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn. I actually liked it. It was the original character on screen, just in different clothes. And in one moment, not even. She was in her original outfit. And I really enjoyed that. I think she gave an amazing performance as the character, and that's why she's number 1 on my likes list. Alright, next up, Jared Leto's Joker. I enjoyed Jared Leto's Joker. A lot of people are bashing on him and calling him the worst Joker ever. You can't call him the worst Joker ever when you've seen him in 10 minutes of film. He was only in 10 minutes of the movie. I don't get how people are judging him and calling him the worst one so far. He's not even on my list of least favorite Jokers yet, because I've only seen him in 10 minutes. I just liked him in those 10 minutes. I'm not saying he's the best Joker, he's the worst Joker, he's a mediocre Joker. I can't say those things. I have not seen enough of him. Now, in the scenes that I did see him in, I really, really liked him as the Joker. He was very insane. He was very turn-of-the-moment kind of Joker. If you upset him, his mood would flip like that, and he'd probably shoot you in the face, which he does in one of these moments. Monster T, Common's character in the film, kind of is holding Harley Quinn. The Joker kind of offers Harley Quinn to him in a kind of faux deal-like moment, and she's sitting on his lap, and the Joker gets really, really jealous, and Common can see that. Monster T, his character's called Monster T. I think he might be Tattooed Man. Was Tattooed Man. And Harley's sitting on his lap, and you can see the Joker's getting jealous. Monster T sees that, and he's kind of like, no thank you, I would not like this girl sitting on my lap anymore. And the Joker kind of flips at the top of a hat and goes, that's my girl, what are you doing? And shoots Common in the face. He's a very psychotic Joker. Now, where was I? Heath Ledger's Joker is not insane. He even makes a point of saying he's not insane in the movie. He's just ahead of the curve. Now, Jared Leto's Joker is very, very crazy. I can see why people didn't like him, because maybe they're not a fan of how they portrayed his craziness. I was a fan. I enjoyed seeing him in the film. I enjoyed seeing him in the scenes that we saw him in. One scene in particular was my favorite scene in the entire film. I don't want to include homages, because that doesn't really count. But one of my favorite scenes, if not my favorite scene in the film, was Harley Quinn's origin. And seeing the Joker in that scene was incredible. All I saw was the Joker in that scene. It didn't resemble Jared Leto at all, and it was incredible to see. I loved it. Now, I can see why people don't like the look. They don't like the tattoos. They don't like the grill. That is not our Joker, people scream. There is a story behind all of those things. Now, the grill. The story behind that is the Batman punches his face in every time he sees him. He's going to lose a few teeth on the way, or break them in half, or just mash them up. They explain that is why the grill exists. The Bat punched him in the face, and his teeth got all fucked up. Now, to explain something about the tattoos. They are not explained in this movie, but David Ayer, the director of this film, has explained that the tattoos tell a story, and it is your job to interpret what that story is. The damage could be because, I don't know, the Batman effed him up, maybe. Or maybe damage is about his psychosis and how crazy he is. But he does have a tattoo of a Robin right here that's supposed to signify the death of Jason Todd, which, in a very quick script on Harley Quinn's intro, says she's an accomplice to the murder of Robin, which I find very interesting and would love to see in a future Batman movie, maybe. I would love to see the murder of Jason Todd played out on the big screen. That would make me very happy. So, to cap it off, I liked Jared Leto's Joker. I did not love him. I did not hate him. I liked him because I haven't seen enough of him. So do not judge Jared Leto's Joker on the 10 minutes you see of him. Wait it out. Wait until we see him in a full-length film with him as the Joker, and then judge him. If he sucks there, I will eat my words and say, oh crap, he sucked as the Joker. But don't hate on him right now. You've only seen 10 minutes of him. So, Will Smith's Deadshot. I actually really, really liked him. He is not your typical Deadshot. He is a Will Smith compilation of all the versions of Deadshot in one. And it's really, really cool. He actually has some of the funniest lines in this film, and I really enjoyed his portrayal of the character. There's one scene in particular where I just believe that shows the epitome of what Deadshot's character is. Actually, two scenes. Two scenes show who Deadshot is. There is one where Batman makes an appearance. Sorry, my nose is itching. There is one where Batman makes an appearance. Deadshot is walking with his daughter, and the Bat, it's an amazing scene. You see the Bat swoop down, and think Michael Keaton's Batman. You see his cape flutter up in the shape of bat wings, and it is incredible. And there's actually someone at Comic-Con who was cosplaying as Ben Affleck's Batman who did that with their cape, and I think they saw Suicide Squad before the con. That's actually in my Comic-Con Day 2 and 3 vlog. Go check that out. A little shameless plug right there. The bat swoops down and is about to take Deadshot in. Deadshot is not happy about that. He whips out his gun, starts shooting at the bat, but then Deadshot's daughter steps in front of Batman and says, "Daddy, please don't." This shows what kind of character Deadshot has always been. He cares about his family, his daughter, most of all. And when she steps in front of the bat and says, "Please don't do it," Deadshot lowers his weapon, tells his daughter to move out of the way, and just says, and doesn't say anything, and just lets the bat cuff him, and the police come. Which I thought was the most Batman scene we've seen Ben Affleck's Batman do so far. Because most of it has been in BVS, which is, a lot of people could say, is not very Batman-y. I like him as Batman. But, shall I continue? Deadshot lets the bat cuff him and lets the cops take him in. Just because his daughter stepped in front of the bat and said, "Please don't." That is a very, very good scene showing what kind of person Deadshot is. Alright, the next. The next is showing his badassery and showing the skill of the man who never misses. It shows that Deadshot is the man who never misses. There's a scene where the villain's soldiers, which I'm not going to tell you guys who it is yet, because that will come later. He's shooting the villain's minions, coming at them with amazing precision, and it is an amazingly shot scene. You just see him railing on them with his wrist guns. He's just blasting them left and right. And the scene is completely focused on Deadshot because he is the only one in action. And he's showing, "I am the man who never misses." And he is just blasting them all down. And it is incredible. And the music in that scene, the orchestral music actually swells up. There is no soundtrack. It is orchestral score actually blasting in the background, and it is incredible. It's an amazing scene, and if you guys have seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. It was awesome. I loved it. And speaking of music, that is my number 4. Music in this movie was used incredibly. Now, I'm not necessarily talking about the orchestral score, the actual score of the film. I am talking about the soundtrack. The music they put into this movie was amazing. I know a lot of people are complaining about this movie having a very music video vibe, but that is the vibe the movie's going for. It is going for that vibe. If you get that vibe, the movie has succeeded in doing what it does, and if you don't like it, that is your fault, not the movie's. Now, the music is incredible, the soundtrack is amazing. Whenever I see it in stores, I am going to pick up that soundtrack because it is amazing. I just love all the songs they chose for this movie. And I'm sure you guys do too, because you guys have heard them in the movie, in the trailers, and anywhere else you may have seen them. The songs are awesome. I love them. Especially Heathens by 21 Pilots, which you have heard in a few of my videos because, as I said, it is my favorite of the soundtrack on Suicide Squad. And I'm sure you guys, once you've seen the movie, if you have seen the movie, or just because you heard them in the trailers, you guys are going to want to pick up that soundtrack because it is amazing. Now, I may have said in the beginning that my number 5 spot of my likes for this movie, because I wanted to keep that list short, was Captain Boomerang. Now, I'm going to cheat a little bit here and actually tell you guys that my number 5 is half and half with something. Captain Boomerang and just the chemistry of the team, which I maybe should have put it at number 1, but I'm shoving it into the video right now. I'm going to talk about the chemistry first. I love the chemistry between the squad. The squad feels like an on-camera family. They bond really quickly over the things they love, which is being bad. And it's just an amazing chemistry. You watch this and you feel like they are a team. They can work together, they can get it done together, and that they belong together. You don't for a second believe, maybe they don't fit together. Maybe they're not good as a team. You feel from the beginning, when the first time you see them all together as a team, they fit together, and you feel that. You feel the chemistry that the cast developed off screen. If you listen to some of the stories from the set, David Ayer put them through some intense exercises to get them to bond and become a family. and it worked. You get that feeling on screen. You have that feeling that they're a family without being a family. They are a unit. They're a cohesive unit. They are a good unit. And I really, really enjoyed the chemistry of the squad in this movie. I think they did an amazing job. All the actors did an amazing job of making us buy this team as a team of bad guys who just want to do some good for once. And it's awesome. I loved it, and I'm sure you guys loved it too. Maybe. Or maybe you're one of those haters of the movie. That's okay. Everyone's open to their own opinion, and I welcome your opinion. Especially if you want to put them down in the comments below. I am not shy of hearing your comments on whether or not you like the movie. Now, onto the other half of my number 5 spot. Boomerang. Captain Boomerang was actually really, really cool. I enjoyed his comedy. I enjoyed his character. I enjoy that Australian roughness that Jai Courtney brought to the role. Now, Jai Courtney actually is Australian. Some people, for some reason, think that the accent is fake and he is not actually Australian. He is. And for once, I think this is the first time ever in a movie you get to hear Jai Courtney use his own accent. And I think that is really, really cool. And I'm sure he really enjoyed that. Because I'm pretty sure in everything else we've seen him in, he uses an American accent. He uses that common American accent. And I'm sure he's glad to be able to speak in his own tongue for once. Now, why did I like Boomerang so much, you may ask? I may have already said. I liked his comedy. His comedy was really, really cool. What else did I like? I loved how he used his boomerangs. They actually use his boomerangs quite a bit in this movie. I thought he was just going to be called Captain Boomerang. No. He uses his boomerangs. And he uses them damn well. Now, he uses them for comedy, he uses them for fighting, and he uses them for, in one scene, surveillance, which I thought was really, really cool, and also led to a funny scene. He has this drone boomerang that he tosses so that he can scope out the villain's hideout. He tosses this, you see it flying, and you see him using a phone to fly the drone. He's flying the drone. The bad guy shoots the drone down. You see him take this perfectly fine phone. There's nothing wrong with the phone. And he just tosses it. Like, this is garbage. Just because the drone got messed up. Which I thought was hilarious. He was very, very funny in this movie. And I think you're really, really going to like what he brings to the movie. Now, a very funny part of his character is called Pinky. Now, Pinky is, of course, a pink unicorn. Because what else would Captain Boomerang have stashed very deep in his coat of wonders? Pinky is a pink unicorn. As you may recall from one of the promotional trailers with the character splash cards, one of Captain Boomerang's fetish is pink unicorns. And throughout this entire movie, he has on him a pink unicorn named Pinky, which I thought was hilarious. He genuinely cares about this pink unicorn because it falls on the ground, you'll hear him shriek, Pinky, and pick it up, which I thought was hilarious. And then he'll stash it deep into his coat where it belongs. And it was hilarious. And I'm sure you guys thought it was hilarious too, because that was just weird, funny, and I loved it. Now, that is why I like Captain Boomerang, and that is why I like the chemistry of the squad, and that is why they're at number 5 on my likes list. And these are not all of the things I liked in the movie. These are just my top 5, because I wanted to keep the list short and sweet, so this wouldn't be too long. Because I also have 5 so-so things, or bad things, about the movie to talk about as well. Those were my top 5 likes for the movie. There are other things I liked, obviously. Now, on to the dislikes. Now, when I get to this part of the video where I have to talk about my dislikes for the movie, I did not have that many. I did not have as many as I had for my 5 likes of the movie, which, like I said, were not all of my likes. I kept it short, hoping that I would have at least 5 dislikes of the movie. I don't. There aren't that many things that I dislike about the movie, and what I do dislike aren't too horrible to make me dislike the movie. So, to quickly get into the few things that I did not like about the movie. The editing. The editing was so-so. It was noticeable, which cannot be forgiven. You cannot forgive noticeable editing. You should not be able to notice when something was obviously cut and something is missing. There are scenes, not the entire movie, where that happens. Someone will be standing up, someone will be sitting down in the next shot. Like I said, that cannot be forgiven. But it does not happen throughout the entire movie to the point where the editing is 100% horrible to where you have to hate the movie because of the editing. Now, my next thing is the villain. The villain was a okay villain. Wasn't a good villain, wasn't a great villain, wasn't a shitty, horrible, disgusting, crappy villain. It wasn't like Malekith Thor 2 level crappy villain. This villain was so-so. Like I said, not good, not great, not bad, not horrible. Just so-so. Like one of those medium level villains. So, why was Enchantress, now is when I'm telling you guys who the villain is, why was Enchantress so-so as the villain? Her plan didn't really make sense. Not really. Yes, I get it, you're angry at the human race for entrapping you in little bottles and shit and making you feel emasculated. I understand that. But her plan is to build a machine to wipe out the world's armies and all that. She shoots a beam of light into the sky. Never is a machine built, only light that looks like it's supposed to start building machine. The machine is never built. That I did not like. I did not like that. Now, can it be forgiven? Yes, there have been shittier villains in shittier movies. I can forgive that her plan wasn't completely made to fruition. I guess I can accept that it was because the Suicide Squad stepped in and stopped her before the machine was made. I guess I can accept that. Does that mean she was a good villain? No. Doesn't mean she was a horrible villain. No. Now, did I like her as a villain? No. Like I said, so-so villain. Her plan, like I said, shoddy plan. Now, a little caveat to the villain. She has a brother called the Incubus. Enchantress has a brother called the Incubus. He is just a big monster a big monster fighting guy. He's just made to punch people around and be very big and strong. The only reason he's a caveat and not really a big is because it gives the opportunity for Diablo to have his shining moment, and that is... Sorry about that, guys. A little bit of my video was cut off because my camera died, and that was the part where I believe I was talking about the part where Diablo and the Incubus were fighting, and I didn't like how the Incubus all of a sudden got the upper hand when it looked like Diablo was going to win the fight, and how Diablo subsequently dies at the end of that battle, even though it wasn't the Incubus that killed him. It was Task Force X on his wishes to take out him and the Incubus at the same time. Now, onto my very last dislike about the movie, and that is how some characters unfortunately just fall into the background. They aren't main characters. I thought the entire squad was going to be considered the main character. Everyone was going to get their spotlight and all that. But no, it mainly focuses on El Diablo, Deadshot, Harley Quinn, and and Rick Flagg's relationship with June Moon, aka the Enchantress. What I really would have liked was if Killer Croc's backstory wasn't cut out, because they released that Killer Croc's backstory was originally in it, but they cut it out. That Slipknot had a backstory just so it was a little bit more misleading to the fact that he was going to get his head blown off later, because kind of made it obvious that this character doesn't really matter, and that's why he doesn't get a backstory. And if Katana had more to do, and if there was actually footage of the husband backstory, in case you guys weren't paying attention, missed it, or don't know the comics, Katana, or crap, I can't remember her actual name, her Japanese real name. Her backstory is her husband gets murdered with the Soul Taker sword, and she has the Soul Taker sword. Her husband's soul is in the Soul Taker sword, and she can commune with it and all that, and she can slice you and take your soul with the sword. We don't get to see her husband's murder or much of a backstory. We see a couple second clips of her fighting bad guys, but that's about it. I wish that was expanded on. We got to see a little bit more of Katana, because I thought she was going to be a standout character in this movie. I thought she was going to be really cool, a character that surprised everyone with how badass she was going to be. She wasn't really an important part of the movie. She was in the entire movie, but she's kind of quiet, and she's a fighter. She fights a lot, but there's no really character building for her. That's the word I was looking for. Now, that's about it on the whole characters falling into the background, but I guess something that could be shoved into that category is how much of Jared Leto's Joker was cut out of the movie. After seeing the movie, I read some articles about how much of the Joker's scenes were cut out, and apparently there was enough footage to make like a rated R Joker film. And that makes me sad, because then maybe people wouldn't have judged so harshly on the Joker, but also this isn't a Joker-centric film. I want people to know that. This is not a Joker movie. This is a Suicide Squad movie that the Joker makes an appearance in. So I'm also kind of glad that they cut out most of those scenes, because then the people would have been focused entirely on this new iteration of the Joker. They wouldn't have focused on the Suicide Squad. They wouldn't have focused on the story or Amanda Waller, who is a bitch in this movie, by the way. You are going to dislike Amanda Waller just as much as you dislike her in the comic books. They make sure you know this is a hardcore lady that you should not like, but you love Viola Davis's portrayal of her because you know it's so accurate. You hate this woman because of how she's treating people, and it is great. You love that you hate this woman. Now, let me get back to what I was talking about. Jared Leto's Joker would have overshadowed everyone if they put that much of him in this movie. Now, if all of those scenes involved Harley's backstory, then I see why you could have put him in the movie and it still would have made it a Suicide Squad-centric film. You would have had more Joker just integrated into Harley's backstory. A little bit more of Harley's backstory is something I'm guessing we all want, because, wow, those scenes were incredible. They were what you dreamed of becoming a reality, and it's incredible. Now, as much as I wanted to see more Joker, I understand why they took him out. Alright guys, that is it for this video, for this Nerdy Hatter movie review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed Suicide Squad. Now, to give this movie a rating on an A, B, C, D, E, F scale, I would have to say this movie, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, is a B+. I really enjoyed this film, and I hope you guys did too. If you didn't, that's okay. We all are entitled into our own opinions, but I would love to hear your opinion down in the comments below. Did you like this movie? Did you love this movie? Did you hate this movie? Tell me in the comments below, guys. I want to know. And as you can see, I'm not wearing my hat right now. That's because I want to show you guys my Joker green hair. As you know, I dyed my hair for Comic-Con. If you want to see some pictures of that or some video from Comic-Con itself, go check out my Day 1 and Day 2 and 3 Comic-Con, Tampa Bay Comic-Con vlogs, which I will put links to in the description below. And if I ever learn how to do it, I might put it in the video. Now, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. And I'll see you guys next time. Nerdy Hatter out.